Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Good morning.
Very loud and clear, thank you, Raymond.
You okay, Carol?
No, it doesn't sound like you're coming through the mic.
Testing.
Is your mic on?
That was on the hand.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Tom, test it again, please.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Now it's working.
Okay.
Good morning, Carol.
Good morning, thank you.
Is open.
Hang on a second. Just waiting for a call in.
Is he calling me?
Yeah, he's going to call in right now.
Evelyn's there, I think, is she? Yes, yes.
I turned it off when I was adjusting the mic at the podium. No, the podium. Sorry, thank you.
2, 3.
Thank you so very much. We're good to go.
We got connection.
He didn't call me.
Okay. Okay, let's call, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's call the meeting to order. I'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
We got you, Steve.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and justice for all. Can we please remain standing for a 1-minute silence, please? Thank you. Okay, we'll start with the meeting then. Kevin, you seated down now. Can we have a determination of a quorum, please?
Good morning, Raymond, Board, and Summer Glen. Yes, we do have a quorum with 5 board members present. And
Okay, thank you. We'll now move forward with comment from resident input. I have the list here. First up is George Engelbert, lot number 546. I'll just remind everyone again that you've just got 3 minutes to speak, and I'm a little bit wavery on sometimes, but if you're going on too long.
To discuss CRF 2025-11 on the storage unit up at the softball field. I was a bit surprised. We were a bit surprised. Some of the Softball Association was a bit surprised that it's back on the agenda. I don't know the rules you guys play by, because we have not yet had an opportunity to get back with through Marie and back to the board with a proper agenda. I noticed there was no update on the documents in the packet this morning. Our field manager just got back from his summer in New York. He started working over the packet that I had put together on an estimate that we discussed at the workshop or last board meeting, I believe. And he's up to $8,000 just for materials to remodel the existing structure. Just want to mention that. So sans a proper estimate for the board to work with, I want to offer 3 things again. Either table the CRF until we get a proper estimate, approve the CRF with the split that we offered, the 60-40 split we offered, or approve the CRF with the SGSA funding 100%. So we can get moving on this. Softball season is almost upon us. We're doing our draft next week, and we start practices the week after, and we'll be into October and November before you know it. There was one question from Lynn last time about things going into reserves. let's remember that this structure, the structure we're proposing, has a 25-year warranty. It's an aluminum building. So it's got a 25-year warranty. It's going to outlast the wooden structures that are up there now. Thank you.
George, are you recommending that it be tabled? That's your recommendation?
I'm going to leave it up to the board. I recommend you table it until we get a proper estimate on remodeling, coming up with this jury rig of the expansion of the existing structure, or go ahead and approve it with the 1064 to be able to go do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was approached this morning, and I'm going to have a look at your shed proposal immediately after the meeting.
Paul, I know Paul discussed it with you. I'd offer the fact that I offer the other board members that are available to come up with us afterwards. We can discuss it.
Okay.
Those who haven't looked at the situation up there, or to come up and look at it.
Okay, thank you. Next up is Bob Saltzman, lot 1007.
I don't know if you've had a chance to go out on the golf course and see some of the preliminary work that's been done, but according to the packet, the idea is to repair the damaged and uneven areas that have been caused by car traffic. So they've put all this coquina and they've created paths and extended paths, and they put up some timber alongside it, and as you drive down it, it's like driving over a very bumpy road, and it doesn't look that great in some areas. And I understand the purpose of it, and I think it would be great if we had less bumpy areas, but revision, whatever you're calling it, contingent upon a successful accomplishment of their task, subject to inspection by our, be already aware of this, if, and I don't know, because I can't ask you a question. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you. Bill Kinder.
Good morning. Bill Kinder, Lot 882. I'm here to speak about the membership fees. At the last workshop, there was some discussion about it. When we sold the golf course to the HOA in good faith, we gave up to $7,000 to $9,000 in our own equity to make sure. We could have sold it to an outside or several outside companies, golf management companies, who would have, or Rainbow Springs, Marion Oaks, and a bunch of other courses that are in the area. So we chose, in good faith, to keep it within the community, so the community would have control of that course. Our contract stated that the equity members' dues would be frozen for 15 years. Now I think it's the board's time to honor that were original members of the golf course. Many of them moved, many have died, some have given up their membership, both annual and seasonal. An estimate, I think the income from our play is about, or into the general fund. But I don't know if you really want to alienate the most loyal members of the golf club by raising the fees and reneging on the original agreement. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Next, Carol, you need to come down from that booth. It's a long walk.
Comments are also on the membership rates. Specifically, it looks like a new proposed, the 9-hole membership. I noticed, number one, there wasn't a single and a family rate. There's just one rate. I also happened to pull the recommendations that were proposed last year from the golf committee that talked about a 9-hole, if you had a 9-hole and what if you wanted to play 18 holes that day, what would happen, et cetera. I guess I'm really just suggesting whatever the board approves, you need to think about the implementation of it and what are the rules or the parameters, because that is, I think, some of the issues we've had in the pro shop with things not being well defined. So depending on the day of the week and who's at the, desk there that day when they go to buy something, people end up paying something different. The other is that the proposed rates on $2,725, and you're only proposing $2,000. So I'm not sure how the amount was arrived. The other is that have you looked at the possibility of, Bill was just $1 is less than their equity membership. They may very well opt to go with a 9-hole. Not to say that they shouldn't or can't do that, but I think you also need to then consider, does that mean they have given up their equity rate permanently? Because they are no longer paying an equity membership. So please just consider all this when you go through your proposal today or your process today. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol.
Marty Sawyer, Lot 180. I'm here to talk about the memberships as well. I think this should be tabled for now, based on the other comments from the residents, that I don't think you guys are prepared to make any kind of decision. Question for you guys is, how many current members do we have total? Anybody know?
We know.
How many?
This isn't question and answer period.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
No.
not right.
Can I answer his question?
No. This is not a question and answer sensor or an interrogation. You can make a statement about memberships and then sit down.
Okay. So my statement is that the memberships you guys are proposing do not match the current memberships that are offered currently today. Seasonal, there's an annual member, there's a equity members, there's a seasonal members, and then there's an annual afternoon. So those are the ones currently offered right now. What you're offering is totally different.
Michelle Sawyer, same lot number.
Good morning. Michelle Sawyer. To know if the existing maintenance shed that we have located behind the 16th green has been considered for the storage site of this tractor and any other equipment that the community has the need to store. In my opinion, that's a large space over there. It's got a lot of room to store a tractor and other equipment without the need to expend an additional $10,700+. My next concern is 11A, the board realignment. As has become the norm, the supporting documents that are in the packet this morning are vague and of no help. It's a single page listing our board, exactly what board realignment meant, and I haven't gotten an answer. So, admittedly, now my statements are made from assumptions and suppositions. The word in the community, specifically the golf community, has been that today or sometime soon, Dan Murphy is going to be removed as a liaison to this golf community. Dan doesn't know why this is being done. We've been here for nearly 3 years, we being the man that I live with at Lot 180, for nearly 3 years, and whilst we haven't agreed with Dan on everything, we can say that Dan always has had the golf course first and foremost in his dealings with this community. We've had conversations with Dan in our disagreements, and we fully support him in his position as liaison. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. The golf community has been in turmoil now for 2 years. Through this, Dan has been a constant for the golf community. So removing him from his position is, in my opinion, extremely short-sighted. Additionally, the word in the community is that the Golf Operations Committee, which we know was defunct directors, made up of 3 people from the current board of directors. We were told that the Golf Operations Committee was dissolved because of the prior golf manager not wanting them around. The board obliged. Another short-sighted decision, in my opinion. The course went to hell shortly after that. There was no oversight on the course, which we know that the previous Golf Operations Committee was handling very well, which is possibly why nobody wanted the Golf Operations Committee around. In my opinion, it's another mistake. This action would be the biggest conflict of interest the golf club would undergo. We talk about transparency, credibility, confidence in our decision-making, without it being a conflict of interest. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Roland Lee Fontaine.
Roland LaFontaine, Lot 230. I'm going to speak on new business irrigation repairs. Have you read that? Has anybody read that? Oh, I'm sorry, it's not a question and answer. Well, there's nothing in there, in the agenda, really, about board approval of emergency irrigation.
I thought there was.
That is correct. I'll answer you on that one.
Okay. But anyway, I sent a letter, an email to the board. Did you get the email?
I'll answer that as well. Yes, we did.
Okay. We had a lightning strike, a very bad lightning strike. It started the pump on the 18th fairway, and all the sprinklers came on the 18th fairway, and they ran for 13 hours during that storm. And then they came and shut the sprinklers off the next morning, which I don't know if it put pressure on the pump or not. I'm finding out now that there is a jockey pump. I don't know if that jockey pump worked or not. Does anybody know if it did? If it didn't, it put pressure on that pump, and it may have caused that pump to work over very hard against itself. And that can cause cavitation. And I explained that in that letter or email. And that tears the pump apart. I'm going to leave it at that. We need lightning protection against our pumps on that golf course. Okay? But we're going to spend $55,000. Think about that.
Thank you. Next up, Michael Cadillo, don't assume here. He's
Michael Cardillo, Lot 273. Good morning, Board. Good morning, First Service. Thank you for the opportunity to speak, and I will acknowledge and recognize the non-Q&A of this. My question is really in regards to an email that I sent yesterday to the Board, just looking for some simple clarification. Email sent from Scott to Kevin on the 8th, being Monday of this week, in regards to the scope of work, the 10th of August. There was a Word document within there that had itemization to a certain degree. It was indicated that the cost of the materials was between $55,000 to $60,000. So I would ask that we provide an itemization. These materials were ordered by whom, and so that we understand, the overall process. Thank you.
Thank you. Lot 180.
We don't know what that is because the packet was, as the liaison, the community is totally against that, so I hope that doesn't happen. Dan has been the conduit for losing him as liaison would be a huge deal, so please don't do that. Thanks.
Sandra LaFontaine, Lot 230. Board packet it just went over it. It did this on the board packet a couple of times with a couple of items. On September 6th at 6:30, and we made a phone call to a board member regarding that. Told that there was nothing that could be done. There was nobody available. So we resorted to the well-advertised bill of sale when we were going to First Residential. The big factor going with we called that number, and it's identified it as an emergency. At 7 o'clock, the lady that we spoke with said that we'd have to hold for 3 to 5 minutes and she would get back with us. She did get back with us and said that the proper authorities had been notified, the superintendent of Gulf had been notified, and that someone would handle the matter. Woke up at 8 o'clock the next morning and the sprinklers were still going. Full storm, full storm. Things were getting sent out an email to the board. And this was our reply. Thank you for taking the time to contact the HO individual or individuals. If your issue relates to ongoing operations within the community, it will be directed to and managed by our association manager. She will be in contact with you. He will be in contact with you. If this is a matter requiring attention by the board, it will be taken under consideration. Sincerely, the Board of Directors. So I'm considering that this is the duly scheduled meeting of the Board of Directors and that you will be taking care of it today. Thank you.
Thank you. Last person up, Marty Sawyer again.
Marty Sawyer, Lot 180. Here to talk, piggyback off what Mike said about the Cypress deal that went down. So I believe the process would be normally they would put in a request to do some landscaping upgrades to the golf course. Then it would go through the process, get approved, and then either approved or disapproved. Then you'd pay the price, they get the materials, do the work, and be done with it. Well, something went horribly wrong here. You're approving it now, today, when the product has already been delivered. They've already started the work. So what we need is a total timeline of how this happened and who was responsible. So I believe it's been said that John Harbison was responsible for ordering that stuff. I don't know if he signed it or how he paid for it, but he was a First Service employee at the time. So my feeling is it should be on First Service to pay for that cost of those landscaping upgrades. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Kevin, we'll move to managed update, please.
Good morning, Rima and board and Summer Glen. Well, there's a lot going on here. As always, right now, we have a restaurant open. And also, maybe because, I'm really happy that right now we have food, glorious food, hot pretzels and mustard. I'm open, but we've got an issue with the patio. So we've been working with the state of Florida. A little bit of a snag on being able to serve outside. There was just an error on the form that the liquor license expediter that the restaurant was working with, an error. They forgot to put that on. So they're going through the process to get that approved, and I'll get another update from John. We're in constant contact with the liquor license professionals, so hopefully soon we'll get that open. The other issue, of course, has been the tap already, or 9:30. So we'll check in with John, and hopefully we get draft beer. So just some technical issues with the lines, but draft beer coming soon. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Kevin. I'll provide you my update now. It's a very lengthy one, actually, so please be seated. Our restaurant opened on August 31st, as everyone is aware of now, and according to initial feedback, has been strongly welcomed by all prior to opening and now ongoing, to give Summer Glen the type of restaurant that makes us all feel welcome. No special deals or clubs, just simple pricing for everyone. Our golfing friends have now got their watering hole open again. I hope everyone has been tipping generously. Our community has been subject to a number of lightning strikes recently. It has been a severe summer to date, and I cannot recall seeing so much evening brightness in the skies. The consequence in Las Vegas, if you've ever been. In most instances, these items can be fixed quickly, but sometimes, in the interest of safety to personnel who is an expense on the HOA, some of which we'll be approving today. It is with deep regret, blessing to us all. He has turned his skillful hands to many needed projects in the community and also obtained normal pool guy. Many times we've relied upon his expertise to get us out of jail, even on holiday periods. I shall personally miss working with him, but Kevin may have informed you, I don't think you did actually, but First Service are working very hard on our last elections to the board for us to determine the right fit and level of expertise in Summerlin. More news will follow. Our 2026 budget proposals. A lot of hard work ahead before presentation to the board in early October. In a similar fashion, the board has a team working on creating the 2025 reserve study. This has been going well as reported, and the team has to consider lots of elements in its preparation. If you take a look at the existing study on file, you will realise just how many items are included, some not, which will get added. Add to that predictions of wear and tear, replacement costs, life cycle, inflation, etc., and you'll see it becomes very complicated, and Russ will confirm that. I may or may not take heed of. At the end, the figures derived fall into our 2026 budget calculations. On Tuesday, September 23rd at 6 p.m, Summerglen will be having a town hall presented by Kathy Bryant about the state of the county, focusing on Marion County traffic and the new high school. All are welcome to listen to these topics. Whilst talking about town halls, it is proposed shortly to have one specifically for our golfing residents, either members or non-members, or just persons who are interested concerning golf course etiquette, and with the recent improvements underway, where and where not to drive and park your golf carts. There have been a number of complaints, and finally, to let everyone know that the HOA board and First Service have been responding to your emails regarding the community or other to the best of our abilities, where the subject matter is the Summerglen community. For future reference, emails or letters posted anonymously will not get answered. Lot numbers and names will be required and will be posted beginning this week in the weekly distribution. Soon, just outside the First Service offices, a book will be posted containing all the questions and answers for everyone's reference. This is to enable those residents who are not computer savvy to read and be informed accordingly. The board would like not fully representative of the other 1,024 homes is keeping both FSR and the board from doing our respective tasks. It amounts to purposely harassing both First Service and the board. This last week, First Service and the board received 24 emails requesting detailed information, which in a lot of cases serve no purpose other than to be totally disruptive. I will provide a sample of the last email received at the end. First Service management are possibly of the opinion that if this ridiculous and toxic situation continues, and to respond to every question, and to know everything that's going on in Summerglen in real time, which are the usual suspects throw at us and the board, it's very hard to get the real global community work done, just to answer these subjects asked by a few, which the burden of the payment will fall on all of the community. The essence is that we do not work or answer to just perhaps 3 to 4 homes which are inhibiting us from doing our job. The general feel of these questions is in nearly all cases is one of having an ulterior motive or to discredit both board and FSR decisions or actions. Now, I'll give you the last email in the ground hall. A typical example of something rather than a question which in fairness needs to be answered. It was sent by Andrea Porto, who resides at lot 430. It reads, Mr. Anos, my actual surname is Amos, A-M-O-S. Why are you creating so much animosity amongst the residents of Summer Glen? Your answers to questions are repulsive. In fact, if you can't answer something, you just choose to make light of it, i.e. toilet paper, or at meetings you take your headphones off. You are dividing the community, exclamation point. Create animosity of the residents, and this is supported by the board, First Service, and other residents. The toilet paper quote actually was not made by me. It was read, sorry, I'll read that again. The toilet paper quote, actually, one last comment. It has been reported that our golf maintenance team are being questioned by golfers and non-golfers alike. Please stop this interaction as it interferes with their work schedule. That's all from me today. So I'll now move on to the committee liaison reports. So I'll start with you, Tom, please.
Online, and I believe the July summary that I submit was available at the update on last Friday. For the month, our expenses and revenue are just slightly below plan, but not significant. Our year-to-date is a little bit off. We're short $90,000, almost $90,000 in revenue, and our expenses are over by $8,000. This is the time of the year we go through the summer. We do a lot of maintenance. This is where our expenses tend to. The good news is that we've got an additional, in the past 18 months, $104,000 in interest on our reserve investments. That money goes directly into the reserve account and increases our reserve. Rates are coming down a little bit, but not enough to make a big difference on how we manage our investments. I can tell you Summer Glen is very well insured. In looking at our policies, we've got pollution, environmental coverage, we've got cyber coverage, we've got crime, we've got all the coverages that are required we ought to be covered by. I did get from Kevin, you're missing one item. There's a $7,000, I believe, approval for the roads. So I think I mentioned this, but that needs to be added to the list. The concern I have is we're still in 3 areas, the restaurant and the electricity for the community, which basically includes the street. Past couple of meetings, I've tried to make it very clear that when we do a budget, how the budget is done, $40,000, you got to cut back in some discretionary areas. I still think we're approving items after the fact, okay? Not before they're planned or considered, but after the money's already been spent. That is not acceptable. We can't do that. About it, if it's an emergency, we can deal with emergencies. We can have board members sign off on something. So it's not like the fact that it's expenditures. And we need to make sure that continues to happen. We're still spending things that maybe we don't need to buy. There's one recently that I'm not approving because I have questions. Did we get a second opinion, get a second quote or a third quote? I think we're out of sync and we got to get in sync, Kevin. I think the board is accountable to the community. And we need to make sure they know ahead of time, not after the fact. I also am concerned that there's people that may be in the community reading our financial information, sharing information, and not understanding what is right and what is not right. I've also had a need to be corrected. I can tell you, I will not respond on Nextdoor. Okay, I make myself available. I have a Cubby 368. If you have a question, put it in my cubby, financial related, and I know how to read a financial statement, even at my age, and I know where we are. I also know where our money is, okay? And I watch that every single week. If you don't believe me, ask my wife, okay? But people aren't asking me. They're making assumptions, they're talking, they're influencing other people that, oh, no problem, we got it, okay? If I can't answer you, I'll do the homework, okay? But that's the right way to do it, please, okay? If you have questions, ask the right people. Don't post and ask on Nextdoor. That is, we're open here. None of us hide. We live here. Ask, and we'll try to get you the right answers, if it makes sense, okay? The month of August, I think we were almost just about on plan on daily play. Obviously, it's a low number because we budgeted to be a low number. But it shows that maybe September, October, beat that number and help us. We are advertising on a billboard. People are seeing it. I have people that have told me that the restaurant is open. So golfers have a place to get a drink or some hot dogs or hamburgers after they play a nice round. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, next up is Evelyn, but I think Evelyn's given me the information, so I can read it out.
Raymond, I
Okay.
can read the Summer Dreams, the DRB.
Okay.
I'm assuming you'll do the social?
Yes, I will.
Okay. For the Summer Dreams Liaison Report, the informative and enjoyable magazine, club's upcoming activity, veteran information for the Summer Glen Directory Cover Contest is now underway. Residents may submit up to 3 photos for consideration. The deadline for photos is October 1st. So if you have a photo that you really, really like and you think would look beautiful on the Summer Glen Directory, please get it in to Jody Hooley at the summerdreams@gmail.com. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Jody Hooley. Okay, the Design Review Board. They have serviced 230 out of the DRB and will be included for the 9/25 workshop. So we will be discussing any possible changes to the DRB at that time. Please remember to refer to DRB rules before making any change, do anything without DRB approval. The application fee of $100 will be required if a project is started before DRB approval is given. So please make sure you know the deadlines for the DRB meetings. Please make sure prior to the DRB meeting, before you do anything, to get your application in. Otherwise, that $50 fee will be a $100 fee because you've already started the project before you got approval for it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Evelyn. Dan, have you anything to say?
No, not really. I was, when I came back off vacation, the rumor was that I was being replaced as the liaison. And by direction of the president, he told me not to have any conversations with Cypress, to report everything, phone calls that I've received, to forward them to Kevin, which I have done. So I really don't have a report. I know the other people that are probably replacing me already had conversations with Cypress. So I'm not, I don't know what happened there. So I really don't have too much to report.
Working on a number of projects. There's a lot of items that are kind of in limbo right now. Part of that is we've been redirecting them into other projects and issues that have been coming up around the community. We've had a lot of those. Workshop, we got a lot of things to tackle in that workshop. So I'll leave some of it till then. Couple CRFs to discuss today. But other than that, we'll wait for the workshop and discuss a lot of these CRFs.
Okay. John, anything?
Health and
Safety's
safety.
coming up, I think.
Health and safety hasn't met. They'll meet next Thursday. And of course, health and safety is still looking for volunteers for their committee.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay. We've got Stephen on the line. Is Stephen there?
Stephen's here. Stephen, are you there?
Would you like to add anything as the director?
I'm sorry, say it again, Raymond?
Would you like to add anything as a director? Any comments?
Not at this time, no. I'm having a little bit of a struggle hearing everything, but I'm getting the majority of it. But I apologize for not being there, but I'm in California right now.
Okay. All right, thank you. I'll read the Social Committee liaison report, and my apologies for Jodie for missing the meeting last week. Today, she's just saying, I'll read out what she said to me. Just a reminder that today, the upcoming craft fair, I can't remember what the date the upcoming craft fair is, but anyway, if you're interested in volunteering for the craft fair, there's a meeting here in the Grand Hall at 2:30 this afternoon. Doors open at 5:30. Residents attending are asked to bring one bottle of wine and an appetizer to share. A wine list has been posted on the bulletin board showing what Whispering Oaks will be providing. The Halloween dance and costume contest on Friday, October 24th. Strut your stuff and see who will take the contest prizes. If you have any questions, please reach out to Jodie Hooley. So that's the Social Committee. So thanks everyone. So the board meeting for August 14th, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the board meeting.
Any discussion? Okay. All in favour then, say aye.
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 Well, thank you. Motion part minutes are approved. I'd like now to move forward to discussing unanimous consent of the irrigation repair performed by Floralawn at the softball field, again due to a lightning strike. To approve the ratification, please.
I'll make the motion that we ratify the.
I'll second.
Oh,
Lynn seconded.
Lynn seconded.
okay. Okay. Any discussion?
Yeah, I want to mention, obviously the 3-month people in their assessment includes money that goes into the reserves. So the reserves are not found money. We obviously have a problem with lightning lately. Kevin, I think you and I and Marie need to get on the phone with our insurance people and better understand how we do it. I mean, and I'm sure there's more than one of these claims that might be available. So I think we need to have a conversation. It's a reserve item, doesn't mean it doesn't cost us, okay? It comes out of our funds, one way or the other.
Claims, because would they hit you with a deductible for this particular lightning strike versus a lightning strike over here and a lightning strike down there?
Answer that without a discussion with the insurance people.
Right.
To better understand how it all works.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Okay, let's take any. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Which has come up before. It is an item that's was taped. We lost him, have we?
No.
The CRF 2025-001 amended.
I'd like to make the motion that we untable it so we can discuss it.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Item is untabled. Let's have a discussion then.
Yeah, I would like to make the motion that we decline this CRF at this time.
Any support of that?
I'll second that.
Okay.
Lynn seconds that.
Right. Now it's open for discussion.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not something that may be needed at some point in time. This is not the time to do that. Okay, I think by declining it, let them resubmit it instead of just having it come up as a table every time. Let them resubmit it at the appropriate time.
I agree with that, as well as there are other options that are being investigated. The away bench at the end, you guys had talked about maybe a different entrance through the gate, and until we have some of those answers, until that group has more information for us, I agree, Tom.
Well, I heard this morning that they are willing to 100% fund it. Why wouldn't we accept 100% funding from the softball?
I heard a 60-40. Is that now 100?
He mentioned 100 as a third option.
Fund 100% or the previous offer.
I mean, I don't have a problem with the, but again, that's in the future. But they need the storage for the tractor. There's no question they need storage. That's a given.
Can we ask the gentleman that spoke? Because my understanding of what he said was the 100% was the
Paying completely.
Can you hear me, Steve?
okay.
I can, yes.
Any comment?
Does that require the alternatives yet?
If they're funding, I don't think so, no.
Okay, I'm just asking a question. But I would think a new CRF should be submitted with them, for us approving them spending their monies to do what they would prefer to do.
I don't think we need to do that.
The board's got to understand, once we approve that, it becomes the ownership of the Summer Glen and the responsibility of us. So just so the rest of the board understands that.
Correct.
Can I, okay, George, just to clarify, the cost of this, according to, the cost of this, according to the quotation, is $10,743.24. That includes permit, site leveling, anchoring. Are you willing, or is the SGSA willing to pay that amount of money to the HOA or to purchase that item and everything else associated?
Correct.
Okay, so.
The associations, our board still needs to make a vote on that.
Okay.
All right. Again,
So you need a new CRF. That's where it has to come from. We can't discuss anymore until we get a CRF.
why do we need a new CRF?
No, I think if you guys, I think it's a no-brainer for us, although we take the hit on the reserves, because, you know, the $10,000 item would probably become $20,000, $25,000 in 25 years' time or something. I don't know. So the hit we'll take will be need to add this to the reserves. But I think if the CRF has been approved by F&G, it's gone through, I understand, then I think we just go ahead and accept it.
I would assume that it includes any permitting and
Yes,
electrical work.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what they got, yeah.
Okay.
Not in there, but we will pay, we always plan to pay for the.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's, you know, if anyone volunteers to pay for something, then, you know, let's you know, as long as it's accepted by.
You know, I mean, so I'm kind of cutting in and out here a little bit, and we are talking about the storage, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, yeah. I'm kind of, you know, I understand the tabling it, and I understand the reserves for that. I don't see a problem with that. You know, I think the whole thing would be that the distinction of location, ongoing maintenance, and that the full proposal is the full proposal amount that they're willing, something like that. So I think I would like to have a little bit more understanding, and I apologize again coming in over the.
I would say I believe so, that they are willing to fund it 100%. There would be no cost to the association, correct me if I'm wrong, other than in the future with the reserve item, if it had to be replaced. but I believe they have a life expectancy of 20 to 20.
Want to, and I'm just being facetious here, you know, put up a plastic tent and be the storage and then late, you know, then next year we have to replace it with a tough shed. As long as it's that's what I would say under a full proposal or of what it is they're putting up, where they're putting it, and then ongoing maintenance. I mean, you know, if it's at no cost to us, except maybe in the future, you know, might be a little maintenance to do on it, which we all know things happen, then I would not be opposed to, if they're willing to pay 100%, then let them put it up.
Okay, I think, can we remake a motion then? Because I think the board is willing to accept the erection of the shed, accepting that payment. I mean, we can make that proviso in our motion, I think.
We'd have to vote this down.
Oh, okay, we vote.
Yeah, I can change my motion.
Well, we'd have to vote yours down.
Well,
Pardon?
1 second, we're still discussing, right?
Yes.
Okay. What I'd like to see is whatever proposal we make, Tom, make sure that it says that the total cost, surprising comes up, it's still going to be on their plate.
Correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I mean, that's kind of what I'm saying as well, that if we have a full proposal and understanding and they're willing to accept the 100% cost, then I see no reason not to approve it.
So, well, we probably, Robert's Rules of Order would say that we have to deal with you wanted to table, I believe, or no, you wanted to
deny it.
So we need to vote on that probably first, not amend it. Just
Okay.
And then come up with a new.
Okay.
That would
Okay.
be my
Right.
suggestion.
Okay. All in favour of untabling it?
No,
No,
Oh, we're
we're
done.
denying.
Denying your motion. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, okay. All in favour to deny Tom's motion?
Say that again?
Are we denying Tom's motion?
Denying the CRF.
Well, then we got to
Yes.
change the motion, but
We would vote yea or nay.
yeah.
Tom motion to deny the application, the CRF. You are voting yes or no to deny. You're not going to deny. You're voting no. All in favor for no, not denying.
So we vote no.
No. Yeah. All in favour?
It's, just withdraw it.
Yep.
Jesus.
Withdraw your motion if easier. Okay. Okay. Make a new motion.
I move that we allow the Softball Association at their total cost to install a tractor storage unit as proposed.
Okay. Great. Okay.
Steve seconded it.
Steve second.
If it didn't come through.
Okay.
Okay. Now, all in favour, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Thank you. Motion passes.
All right, very good.
That was
Okay. Postpone my appointment with you this afternoon now. Okay. It's okay. Okay. We'll now move on to new business items. Item 11A concerns some board realignment. The board is proposing to elections and this is their recommendation. The board would sincerely like to extend their very sincere service thanks to Dan, who represents this position currently. So, can I have a motion to accept this elimination?
When you say the board had a discussion, was not part of any of the discussion.
But I spoke to you 2 weeks ago, and I explained to you what the board's position was.
And you asked me if I would step down,
Yes.
and I said no.
You said no, and you said you wanted to have a discussion. You wanted an open discussion. So I've had all the board members have spoken to me about this, and okay, that was the conclusion.
What did I do wrong? That I'm being taken off the board. I'm entitled to, pardon me?
This is Lynn. You did nothing wrong. And you've done a good job when we had a golf committee. We no longer have a committee. Every liaison we have is a liaison to a committee. So it's nothing personal. You have done a good job in the past, and we appreciate everything you've done. It's just that we have got to a point with the feel that it's time for a task force of board members to be working on the golf course and have that as a major part of their job assignments, so that we can have more eyes looking at it and more eyes making recommendations to the entire board for how we can move forward. So no, Dan, it has nothing to do with you personally.
Well, if I have 21 years' experience since I've been here, and you want to go to a more involved, maybe 2 or 3 members of the board, so I'm not even being considered to be on that committee. Why? What the reason? Nobody's ever given me a reason why. But the board has the votes. I can't do anything about it. I'm very, very disappointed. But the board has the votes. I can't do anything about it. And I wish you all the luck in the world.
Anyone else would like to say anything?
Are you looking, what are you?
No, I you know.
Is this
that-
just
is
a
it this-
presidential decree, or do you
No,
need a vote?
no, we need a motion, and then we take a vote.
Well, you're taking a motion on what? What are you taking a motion on, Raymond? Whoever.
No golf liaison, no.
Okay.
I'll make the motion that the golf liaison position be eliminated, since there is no golf committee.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. We'll take a vote. All in favour, say aye.
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 Those against?
Me.
Okay. The golf position is eliminated. Dan, I'd like to thank you, but I think it's time to station, and there's things I could say now, but I don't want to say personally to you. But we think it's best to go in a different direction. One thing I will say is it's obvious someone's been talking, because a number of, I'll pass on that.
I know that, man.
Okay, I move on now to item 11B, which concerns the request from the Community Emergency Response Team to approve the purchase of 4 two-way radios. Gary Matthews, the CERT leader, approached me a few months ago re this purchase, and as process accepted by F&G, and the cost for these 4 units is approximately $160 plus tax and shipping from the distributor Amazon. Can I have a motion to accept the purchase? Any discussion?
Yeah, I don't know why, that's an expense
I
that's
felt it.
within the
I
realm
felt-
of First Service to approve.
Unfortunately, I'm the liaison to the CERT group,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to show favouritism to them. So there we go. That was the reason I brought it to your guys' attention.
That's
Okay.
transparency, Raymond.
Exactly. Thank you. Okay.
We got to vote.
Any discussion about just
John, I'm at a board meeting. I'll call you later.
Okay. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Marie, can you organise the purchase of those radios, please? Thank you. Next item concerns the board approval of the hydraulic lifter repairs located in the maintenance building. The equipment along with the wash pad in the similar area are apparent leftovers from when the golf course was purchased. The lift maintenance on their equipment. Our maintenance supervisor, Dick Burt, has been instrumental in getting the lift repaired and now has all the parts required. He was assisted by automotive lift experts, for which we have the invoice to approve at a cost of $1,554. As you see in our package, it was extremely difficult to find a vendor to take on this repair. So can I have a motion to accept the invoice figure of $1,554?
I'll move we accept the invoice for.
Okay, any discussion?
Yeah, this is one of those things that we're approving after the fact, and it wasn't brought to us to begin with.
I agree.
If this was the only one, it would be less concerning to me, but discussion about it, and nobody had the line. When we bought the golf course, and I have no documentation, but it was mentioned to me that possibly this equipment was assigned to Brightview, who was the first one. And there's nothing in writing, okay? I know you're shaking your head, Dan.
Well,
but there was nothing in writing. When I look at the documentation, I see a note that, Cypress needed this for their insurance company to get approval, okay? At some point in time, it should be their responsibility, not ours. And we're helping them meeting their insurance requirements, but we're paying. So I have a problem with it. I'm assuming we're going to go ahead and approve it, but I have a problem with it.
I think for me, I don't know the history of this item, but I would, the same with the wash pad. It's an item that Summer Glen kind of inherited, and therefore feel it's our responsibility to maintain it. I say, the thing's gone wrong. ABM and DT were here and it was working okay. Now it's gone wrong. So, we allow them to use it. So, we've got to really kind of, allow Cypress go.
It's our property. It's physically part of the building. It's bolted into the building, so.
Right, and there's some contract language from Cypress that
Correct.
we're to provide a safe work environment. So.
Safe lift.
So I guess.
Which
a
has
safe
to be
lift-
certified.
Right,
correct.
so I guess that kind of works into it's our responsibility, I believe.
Okay.
Who seconded that motion, please?
John or Russ?
I think I moved.
John motioned.
I made them.
Okay, well, we need to take a vote. Any more discussion then?
No, the only thing I would suggest, if Tom needs to, responsibility. There's tables, there's other equipment. If they're not on the list like Tom is asking, he should know for the reserve study that we are responsible for those items. There's quite a few things down there that probably is not on the list, as Tom is saying. And I understand but we should do, whoever's going to be doing the equipment down there should make a list so Tom has.
And, for the reserves, we'll take a look at it just to make sure we've captured.
Yeah,
it.
I would, Russ, I'll check other things in this. I think there's some other little things in that building that may not be part of the reserve study, but just check. Okay, I think we can take a vote on this. All in favour, say aye.
Aye.
Those against?
Opposed.
Okay. Okay. Motion passes. Then can accept the favour of 1,500. And I discussion. Dan was there, John was there, and I was there. We did have a discussion with Kevin about insisting upon getting stuff first.
I just get concerned, Raymond, when there's gray areas, we always pay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way it is, but at some point in time,
no,
we have to be clearer on what's our responsibility, especially with something that somebody else uses and they could damage.
It shouldn't be, and there's an item coming up with that for the moment. Okay, I'll move on now. So item 11D, we discussed this at our workshop. We a new vendor. We talked about this and accepted them. So can I have a motion to accept the new service agreement at a cost of $500 per year?
I'll make a motion, we accept the Solitude.
Have a second.
I'll second it.
Okay. We'll take a vote now. I want to say one thing afterwards. Or actually, I'll say it now. in the contract we have with them, it talks about a renewal figure. If you can, we need to delete that auto.
We have a contract already with them for the pond, and it has that auto renewal in it. They give me notification, I bring it to you, and then
So
we're making a spreadsheet too that has all of the contract renewal dates so that we can start addressing them early.
Okay, because next year we don't want to be like,
Right.
get to September time and all of a sudden this thing's switched on and,
Yeah.
yep, okay, all right.
Yeah, we
Okay.
canceled with the other company. There were no penalty fees because they knew they were not taking care of it. So now I'm getting quotes, estimates to repair the issues with the aerator fountain portion and the lighting, and we'll bring that to you at workshop.
Okay, all right, so I think we're prepared now to take a vote then. So all in favour, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone against? Okay, so if you get the document in.
One of the things I think we're a little shy on is having all these vendors accountable. And if you make them, to make them accountable, you got to give them a note in writing and that documents it. He said, she said. And so we have to start when someone does, and it doesn't mean that they're doing a lousy job. It's no different than we have a violation policy where somebody gets a violation because their gutters, fascias are dirty, and then they clean it and it's gone. That's a normal process, okay? And I think we need to do a better job on that.
Thank you for that, Tom.
And in writing, so there's no gray areas at all, anywhere.
Okay, so next item is item 11E, concerns the board approval of a new member, Bonnie Harlan, join the Design Review Board following the recent resignation of Melinda Tinkey. I think she's a direct replacement. Yeah? Yep, okay. Bonnie has lived in Summer Glen since 2007 and states that she does have an eye for beauty and aesthetic judgment. Bonnie has been recommended to the team by Judy Tamburello. So can I have a motion to accept Bonnie Harlan as a volunteer on the Design Review Board Committee?
I'll make a motion that Bonnie Harlan is approved for the.
Then second. I don't think we need to have a discussion. We can move straight forward with approving. So all in favour say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And I would like to point out at this time, Raymond, that there is still one opening for the DRB, so if anyone else is interested.
So on behalf of Judy, the board wishes to welcome Bonnie and accepts and thanks her for volunteering. It's a challenging job and I'm sure your input will be appreciated. Thank you. Next item 11F, is the decision of Donna Meltz to step down from her leadership role as chair of the Social Committee and for Jodie Hooley to accept that position. The board wishes to thank Donna for all her past services to the Social Committee and its functions and wishes her well in the coming months. The board also congratulates Jodie Hooley for stepping into the chair role. I don't think we need to take a vote on this. I think this is just more of an information thing. If we do need to take a vote, I'll ask for a motion. It was put on the agenda, and I think it was, for me, it was just an information to the community. So.
No, it needs to be approved.
Okay, so let's do it then. So can I have a motion for the appointment of Jodie Hooley as chair?
Resignation as the chair of the social committee, and that we appoint Jodie Hooley as the new president of the social committee.
Need a second?
Anyone wants a second? Okay, all in favour or any discussion? Any discussion on that?
Yes. I know Jody is quite active with quite a few of the committees, and I think she does a fantastic job. But how many committees can she chair? No? Okay, I mean, she's on a lot of committees and chair a lot of committees.
Raymond and I have had several discussions with people on the social committee. They have adjusted their plans going forward, and it makes a lot of sense that they're not trying to compete with the entertainment that's in the villages. They've kept it, restricted it more to the kinds of things that make sense for Summer Glen here, and which will lighten up that duty a little bit, because all the showcase events are not being planned going forward. So I think that helps a chairperson, doesn't make the position as complicated as it was years ago.
I just don't see her, hope she don't get burned out with all these committees she's on. Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking she's on about four, perhaps? Four? Yeah. Okay, I think it's time for a vote, so all in favour say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I think, so welcome Jody to the chair of the, which is acting already actually as the social committee, but in a lesser capacity. Okay, item 11G. Tom, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, Mary Jean has done a good job, that she's filled in where it was needed. I think she's come to the point, so we thank her for her work.
Okay, I personally don't know her, so Finance Committee.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? And I'd like to thank Mary Jean for her services. How many years, Tom, has she been on there? Do you know how long?
I'm sorry?
How many years she's... a little bit of confusion here on the package, actually, because I'll call it 11G Part 2. It concerns the board approval of a new member, Evelyn Ostenheimer, to the Finance Committee. She'll be taken over from Mary Jean. Evelyn has a background in finance and will be a useful asset to the committee. So can I have a motion to accept Evelyn Ostenheimer as a new volunteer?
I'll make the motion that we accept Evelyn to the Finance Committee.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Great. Any discussion?
Yeah, the Finance Committee has spoken with her, and they are excited about having her join. I personally have also spoke to her on the phone, and I think she will be a welcome addition to the Finance Committee.
Okay. No, any other discussion? Okay. Okay, we'll take a vote then, please. Oh, sorry. Volunteering, I'm sure it's a challenging job, but your input will be very much appreciated in the forthcoming budget month. And I said, I guess Evelyn has a double dip this morning, because she's actually volunteered her services this time for the Social Committee. So can I have a motion to accept Evelyn again as a volunteer on the Social Committee?
I make the motion that we accept Evelyn as a member of the Social Committee.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. Can we please take a vote? All in favour say aye at nomination, and thanks accordingly for serving on 2 committees. Thank you.
I'll probably be the first one there after this meeting.
Well, just as you've been interrupted, did he give a reason? Was there a...
Yeah, it's what we suspected, the lines.
The
just,
lines.
Yeah, the coming out of this part to another part. So just something simple, but it took some troubleshooting.
I'm sure everyone will be happy with that. Okay. Okay, so the next item is the slight revision to the annual meeting dates and schedule that was signed in December. The Meet the Candidate Forum date has been amended, and posting of Meet the Candidates on the YouTube date has been amended. So can I have a motion to accept the changes as written, please?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to accept the date changes per the sheet.
Yeah, I lost mine, sorry.
I'll second the date change.
Thank you. Any discussion?
What was the reason, Raymond?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay,
It's,
good.
no,
Absolutely.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, so all in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone against? Excuse me for a second. Okay. Item 11J is the new golf membership rates for 2026. These rates are basically those that were proposed by our former golf manager. There are some subtle changes, like a new 9-hole membership, removal of the new residence-free golf for 1 month, and change of definition concerning family wording. I also understand there is still a part payment plan. John, Russ, do you have anything to add to that? Well, if not, we'll have a motion to accept it, and then we'll have a discussion. So can I have a motion to accept the new golf membership rates?
I'll make a motion to accept the new golf membership rates.
I'll second.
Okay, now we have a discussion.
Yeah, the discussion that was brought up earlier, the $700 difference on the 9-hole rate. Why would we be so cheap on this 200 on that rate? Any reason?
I didn't understand the question, Dan. Repeat it, please.
Yeah, on the 9-hole rate,
The 9-hole membership?
right, we're $700 less than it was last year.
I had no knowledge of what it was
Okay.
proposed last
Well,
year.
she just brought it up at the beginning of the meeting.
I heard that.
And so why would we approve it if it were $700 less?
We took approximately a percentage of an annual single membership.
Yeah, but that's cheaper than even with the regular equity members would
If you
play.
want to make a motion to amend it,
Yes, I do.
okay,
That's why we're having the discussion.
that's fine.
Yep.
No problem.
I think the 9-hole rate, there was a lady, I can't think of her name actually. Mary Jean. It was Mary Jean, sorry. Thank you.
Ask for a 9-hole.
Okay, asked us, why can't we do a 9-hole rate? Now, I think it's a good idea, and it's been put forward. I think there are issues, perhaps we've got to be careful. So, maybe we've got to be careful because that would then qualify playing 18 holes. So I think maybe we need to put a possible restriction that, on that, because, it's taking advantage of a 9-hole membership and playing, you play 27 holes, can't you, effectively? Or membership, then you're paying a fair proportion. So maybe we...
Talk when I get a chance.
Right here, ma'am, go ahead.
Okay. The 9-hole membership, I have the same concerns that Dan and Raymond have. I think the 9-hole membership should equal the equity members' membership to prevent any reduction in revenue. And I also believe that it should be being played. So I would say the 9-hole membership would be starting at, say, noon in the afternoon, and it would be the equal price to the equity membership. That takes care of both of those issues.
Evelyn, I think, if you have an 18-hole or a 9-hole, I don't think you should try and put a time restriction on it. I think if you're an 18-hole member, you're an 18-hole member, 9-hole. I think as a 9-hole member, my only fear was a 9-hole member playing 27 holes in a day, which would be like kind of taking the mickey a little bit out of the 18-hole members rate.
It's going to take a little management from the golf shop.
Yeah, other guys who adjust the rates, but in terms of trying to restrict the date, to the time, I think that might be a bit foolhardy for us. Anyway, just my opinion.
I got a question. The 9-hole membership, that's a single, right?
Correct.
Is there any reason to have
Both have to have the single rates. They would, each, if a couple went out and played, they would have to have, if they want to play 9 holes, they're going to play the rate of the 9-hole rate. Each one of them will play the,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't get a break.
The other thing on the schedule I'm looking, I don't understand the $1,600. If there's an additional family member that wants to be a member, the odds are that person is a player that wants to play a lot. So why in the world would we allow him to play $1,600 and then a single person is paying a lot?
Grandkids or family members that are working or going to college that want to piggyback onto the family membership. So I don't know that we're going to get a lot of play out of them, because they're busy. I mean, they're still working or
$1,600 is really cheap for an annual single membership.
I agree.
Okay. I have a problem with it.
What it is that member or that person paying this $1,600 has to be a resident of or living in the home of a resident or whatever the case. Okay. Well, if they have a grandson or something to that effect that is living in the home with them, it cannot be outside of the home. It has to be in the home. Then that would be where the special rate came in. They can't just sign up for $1,600 and not live with those.
And Tom, you'll notice we don't call the memberships family. People who thought they had a family membership, that a third person would play for free. So this.
Well, let me ask this then. Why can't we make that $1,600, $2,000, and it still would be additional money, another $400 they would be paying for that person as a member, and it would match the 9-hole membership that you have currently written in this document. I mean, I would like to see the $1,600 be $2,000. That's a compromise between single seasonal membership and the half price of the $3,500 is what? Is that where you came up with the $1,600?
Lynn, I don't know where it came from. It came originally from
John Harbison.
John Harbison.
Yeah.
He came up with that number.
I would like to see that one be 2,000 and the same as.
I think one of the big things is how many people or how many homes, couples memberships, are we honestly going to have with that extra person living in that residence? The idea is great. I mean, it's not like we're going to have, 20, 30 residents with that extra person. I don't believe.
No.
My question then, the only thing I would ask is how are you going to prove that that person is living in that household? Are you going to require?
I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Marie, you know who's, Marie? Kevin, Marie? You guys.
Their vehicle,
Yep.
and they have to get, their tag number and all that. So we would be the confirmation for that kind of thing.
The one caveat to that, we would have to have some kind of verification. I guess if this popped up outside the gate, we would have to have verification that that member truly lives in that house.
That's where I see
I don't know how you prove that, unless you require the driver's license to have the new address.
Yeah.
I mean, when you sit there and look at a new person coming in from the outside has to pay $35.54, and if you lived outside and your grandparents lived here, you could go in and register as living with them. Nobody's going to monitor whether you're there or not. You could come and go as you want, and all of a sudden you're paying $1,600 instead of $35. Look at what we charge a single member, $35.54. That's $1,600 is approximately 40% of that number. I mean that would encourage if you live locally and you have
I really do. I think it's gonna be a one and done. I mean, all these years, nobody's ever even thought about it. This kid is, I mean, how much more proof do you need?
Yeah,
If you're gonna
I
give the
agree, Dan.
membership, give the membership.
I agree, Dan.
Well-
You and I tackled this back in June.
Exactly.
And I thought it was a done deal already, but
After the discussion, let's have a vote.
If they don't play a lot, why don't they pay as they go?
Yeah, they're gonna pay a lot more if they do that.
Well, but still, it's a lot less than 30.
Maybe
Let
there,
me ask this, could we change the one that says additional family member to residential addition monitored in the main office?
yeah, as I understand, there's only, Russ, I think there's only one case of this. So I only know one person that has this situation. So I think it's kind of a one-off. Maybe we're with a few of these people in the community, then I'd say, yeah, maybe we are being a bit too generous. I don't see really personally a problem with that.
Well,
the 9-hole. Sorry, John.
I was just gonna say, and this is a 1 year, 2020 can be
Yeah,
revisited by
yeah.
a new golf manager.
Yeah, he also brings other people with him to play golf, other kids, and they pay the regular rate.
Yes.
So
It's a win-win.
It
Yes,
is.
It's a win-win. I don't think. Just going back to
to 2,700.
How much?
That's what you mentioned, 2,700.
I believe,
Exactly.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Now,
Steve,
is
is
there
that
a-
okay? 2,700? Okay.
Is there a stipulation that they can't play 2 rounds a day? Rounds, they're playing 18 holes.
Yeah, but
I can play
no,
2 rounds a day.
I don't know of anybody that plays 2 rounds. I mean, he's going to be
the point of
playing in
it-
the afternoon
Well,
with his parents,
this
with
is
his grandparents.
this is for the 9-hole, Dan. The
okay.
not the.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I don't see a rack rate that day, if there's a tournament
Absolutely.
or
If he's
whatever.
playing more than 9 holes, he's got to play the rack rate.
The point
You
of this
can't-
membership is for folks that can,
It's easy for me to
tournaments are
say.
handled differently.
Yeah, if there was an event that required an 18 hole, you would have to pay the rack rate. You can't, okay. We'll kind of define that better.
Okay, so we changed the 2,000 to 2,700?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. And the
Okay.
1,600, are we saying resident additional family member?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm making notes. If you'll notice, we'll read through residential family member now, must reside in the original membership's home, must be named in the system. So in other words, this day it's my nephew and tomorrow it's my cousin. And that person is locked into the
Correct.
system. Afternoon memberships begin at 12 o'clock. I don't know if that was ever defined. I just said afternoon is special. If you signed up by October 1st, and that was for new members only, you received 13 months. You
Correct.
got a free month. And then we changed the trial membership to down, if you're a new resident in a community, you get 4 free rounds. You don't get a month of free golf. Now, this would be 2026. The other rates were what John Harbishon had applied, which was basically a 5% increase. So I think that's where we're at right now. Any other questions?
Yeah, I got a question on the 9-hole membership. Does that mean that the benefits of membership means he could book a week ahead of time, any tee time that's available?
I would believe that's.
It's membership, correct.
Because that's,
Correct.
so it's the same membership.
I would
So,
believe that's correct.
so paying that amount, the 2,700, you could actually book yourself at 8 or 9 o'clock anytime you want. A
Yeah.
week ahead, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the same as if you were a full annual member,
Correct.
right?
Even full annual members might book 9-hole tee time,
Okay.
even at 8 or 9 o'clock or any time,
Or more of the preferred time.
Yeah.
For a resident that's not a member, I think you have up to 7 days, but I think The memberships have 14 days. If I'm not, is that correct, Dan? 14
Yes.
days?
Yep.
That's what I thought. So the bottom line is we do need to vote on this because the membership rates would start being collected. Basically, even a new member would be October. So we can't really put off the membership rates. That's
We
why-
might even get some signing up in the end of September.
Right.
For October, so we
Right,
need to.
for
we need-
October, correct.
If we want to accept these changes, then if we accept these changes and we'll vote on these changes.
Correct.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay, so these are our new. Next item is the board approval of emergency irrigation repairs caused by, again, another lightning strike, which knocked out both golf course and common grounds irrigation. Among K of emergency irrigation repairs caused by lightning strike, which knocked out both golf course and common grounds irrigation. $3,317. So can I have a motion to approve the emergency repair expenditure?
I'll make a motion to accept the Turftronics invoice for repair of the base station.
Can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay.
Base station that's in the building?
Correct.
Yes, this is where again, this is another one, it was already done, and we're getting it F-21, which is basically beginning of 22. We spent $17,000 or $16,000 and put a whole new, then there was an antenna and so forth, because that transmits to the different pedestal units out there. All of a sudden, there's a repair. Did somebody call Toro and find out why it wasn't working? I mean, the unit was only 4 years old, or less than 5 years old. The original one, before we replaced it, lasted 15 or more years. And then all of a sudden, when I look at the Cypress, and I made copies of certain areas, 7.17. For repairs of irrigation collectively, any expense incurred over $8,000 in parts, well, a lot of that's parts, shall be billed at the end of the current year to the owner. So why are we approving this? I don't understand.
It looked at everything.
Cypress is going to be giving us a line item of all of their expenses that they've had for irrigation so far. My understanding for this one was they did call Toro. It was no longer under warranty. It was hit by lightning. It was totally killed, but still more updated than what we had. So, they went out and replaced it with used parts.
Relate to 7.17. It says they're responsible for the first $8,000 per year paying for this. I don't understand it.
We don't have an accounting yet, just like Marie said, so.
I haven't.
And in our conversation with.
They've said they've spent that money.
Do we have an accounting of it?
We are getting an accounting.
Well, but it says here, it shall be billed at the end of the year to the owner. So why are we approving this now when we don't have an accounting of what they spent? We put language in documents and then we make believe they don't exist anymore. I have a problem with that.
Tom, I agree with you, but to a certain extent, what I call irrigation repairs is sprinkler valves, tubing, and stuff like that. This, which is actually a lot different. I think this year has been exceptional, and I'm sure in the next coming weeks we'll have some more lightning strikes on stuff. And I think the concept of that $8,000 or whatever the figure, not for an item like this.
Doesn't say that, Raymond.
Well, I know, but I'm just giving you what I would say in the sense of an irrigation repair. I just think irrigation repair to me is tubing, valves, and sprinklers, not some sophisticated piece of electronic equipment.
You know, we sat there in that meeting, okay?
I didn't go to that one. Bob.
You two, Russ and John. Oh, yeah, yeah, we spent that. Then I asked you, Kevin, if we had an accounting of it, and of course you didn't. So
Don't approve it.
We have to send all the irrigation stuff to the insurance company, which we're going to meet with you or have a discussion with them to figure out while we're doing all of this research. There's going to be reseeding soon and all kinds of things that money's going to be spent on, and they realize what they owe, what responsibility they have. It's just been a lot, too much at one.
To work, which, as Cypress mentioned, that this Turftronics was a pretty good company and they do pretty good work to get us used equipment, or I should say a vendor. I don't want to turn off a vendor, Tom.
fine, then let's deduct it from Cypress.
Well, I know where you're coming from.
Well, you know, the biggest issue accountable for that, we keep paying and paying and paying. And accountability is where we're lacking. I have no $8,000.
Well, like all things that are emergency, when it's an emergency, we take care of the emergency first, and then we balance everything out at the end. Because our responsibility is to keep the association running. And in this case, the association's watering system and irrigation affects the arbors, it affects the common areas, and it affects not just.
It's an emergency expense. I think we need to maybe discuss this in a workshop and get some more information. I mean, we have a lot of questions to answer. A lot of these expenses may come back to insurance as
We
well.
can come back
But in the meantime, we
for the
have to keep
workshop.
things running.
We can come back for the workshop. and get
Again,
them.
I have no problem paying the vendor. I have a problem not the duct and the pipes.
Unless we get reimbursed from an insurance claim.
Correct.
Then it comes out of that. I understand what you're saying about that, but this is something that's kind of in limbo right now. Again, we had to fix.
Who's responsible for the cost? Okay, and when I read this, it says that they're responsible for it until the end of the year. And then they account for what's over.
Okay, on the let's to the other side.
$5,000.
To the other side.
$5,000. Because they're.
I'm just reading, and collectively any.
Because they're.
I'm just reading, and collectively any shall be billed at the end of the current year.
Had this conversation in reserves. Is that part of their responsibility?
How we pay for it and how we accounting for.
Is that part of their responsibility?
How we pay for it and how we accounting for.
Our motion include.
Accountability. That's what it says in.
Our motion include.
Accountability. That's what it says in.
I'm not running.
Happened or not? We would just.
I'm not running.
Happened or not? We would just approve the bill, and then we just need to.
Has made a motion, Thompson, from.
Yes.
And then we just need to.
Has made a motion, Thompson, from.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Mike, did we not? You were there.
I get it, yes.
Okay, it's like they paid no attention to it. Okay, I mean, we'll ratify it later, but we have to know. Okay, I mean, we'll ratify it later, but we have to know what's going on. Up to us a month later and say, "Oh,
Tom, in principle, do we owe $3,317 to Turftronics?" Is the answer yes or no? Do we owe that money to Turftronics?
yes, we can't pay the bill."
Okay, so we should be voting on paying that bill. The rest of the argument about whether we spent $8,000, $6,000, is it another day? It's not today.
As long as it's not to Cypress.
No, it's
the Tektronix or whatever they are.
So we approve this invoice, and we can fight with Cyprus about responsibilities later. Does everyone agree on that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you. So let's vote to approve this invoice, please.
Call the vote.
Marie, we're paying the invoice. We'll sort out with Cyprus how much money's been spent or not spent on out that.
Marie, keep in mind, you represent Summer Glen, not Cypress. And if it says they should cover it,
So if the irrigation needs to be on, I'm not paying Cypress anything. I represent this board and this community, as you well know, sir.
Yeah, okay, let's not get into, but Tom, I do understand what you're saying, but we're only talking about invoice. Let's move on to the pickleball rules. At our last meeting, the pickleball rules were ready for approval by the board, but there was a small paper change necessary to be incorporated to physically define the actual courts in question. I see in our packet a diagram with yellow markings. Is this sufficient to satisfy our needs? Because I kind of like, I looked at this and I thought, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That was all that was required.
now, I understand, I'm looking at it on my sports court. Why are they in yellow? Are they included?
That's what we're talking about.
Well,
That's-
they're not used solely for pickleball. So all of a sudden now they're part of the pickleball courts?
No, we're not.
No,
Sports courts, right?
the basketball and the tennis are not pickleball courts. They are multi-purpose courts. There's 2 pickleball designated.
For extra outside club use, this extra multi-purpose court can be used and scheduled by the HOA at the.
Used for pickleball courts, but they're tennis courts. They were set up and designed as tennis courts.
Tennis club has also met and agreed to these things. So pickleball met, tennis met, and I don't know that we have anything for basketball, but everyone involved is in agreement that this is the best way that we can have extra use. And there's a bigger pickleball community.
Okay, so we need a
that outlines the multi-use courts.
I'll second that.
Not under the control of the pickleball club.
They are not.
They are not,
Use
okay.
those courts, we talk to tennis.
Okay. Okay, so all in favour say aye?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes, and we'll add that wee break for John. Let's say 5 minutes, let's say about 10, 5.
I don't know if I ran out of them or what, but I want to make it clear.
It's okay, I don't care. We're going to take a 5-minute break, guys, okay? I knew this, sorry.
We're gonna just stay connected.
We need lunch up there.
We're good. I am going to, I need to set up a meeting with,
The conveyance.
well, yeah, so it's. Right.
Doesn't fly now, you gotta have it in writing. You can't take dealt with him in the beginning.
Okay,
So,
okay.
and they did some kind of verbal agreement with tennis, so I said, well, you have to redo it, but I wanna finish it up. See if there's anything.
So
Yeah, and I gotta go through the one she gave me yesterday. So that's tomorrow's. Oh, that's tomorrow's agenda. Great. One day he screamed at me, Sue Rodriguez, that's bullshit.
Dress for the weather. Yeah, you know how cold it's gonna get, and it's blowing on us up there, there's a vent right on top of us. Yeah, Lisa said, Lisa's gonna turn the heat up, folks. Terrible in the summer, you gotta bring a jacket to a meeting.
Trust me, that's why I've been walking around.
Have a good vacation. I'll hold down the fort while you two are. You see, catching on fire, you know why.
I'll have to do before it goes.
Driving or flying?
Welcome to Pinata Land.
To where?
I'm the president.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I feel better.
I could be ready in a heartbeat.
Okay, I'll keep it in mind, and I will let you know.
Thank you, ever so. Goodbye. Safe trips. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Lisa went to turn up the heat.
It's all about accountability.
No, I was actually on medical leave on that Sunday, September 10th. And watching on TV, and we were all in the living room. Out of the gate at US Steel. Chicago. All information goes, the country's being under attack. Right, how the rumor mill goes.
One gutter clean here and there. The board, where's the second approval on the third approval?
That's why I was walking around.
It's been constant.
I was almost going to bring it up. I don't want to.
I know, I'm just doing shares.
No problem. Kevin knew that. Some accountability. We keep paying and we pay. Pay. At some point, we gotta say, it's time to get a raise.
We've had that, I agree with you 100%. Charge them back.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to say, yeah, and kind of top off what you were saying, Don, and I agree, Tom. I mean, I think a lot of us have been saying that. I know I have, that for these vendors, you know, whoever they go through, they do need to be held accountable. I mean, we need more upfront clarity, transparency, and understanding of what it is we are subject to or being charged for, or what their warranty is. Outside looking in, I agree. I don't believe there is a lot of accountability. That's what needs to take place. So I agree with you, Tom.
And I understand, but it's time I have to bring this out of a meeting. I can't just send emails. Nobody's paying attention.
You're right. I haven't looked for any either. Good one. Okay, let's roll. Let's roll. All right, we're gonna go back live here, Steve. Don't forget your seatbelt. All right, brother. Put it
Okay,
on.
okay, guys. So we nearly everyone's ready. Is Evelyn still there? Is she?
Yeah, she's here.
Okay. Do you remember those days when you had to pay so much per minute for your phone call? Gee whiz.
She was using all of her plan in one
Oh,
day.
gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
if we had to pay the minutes, we'd go broke.
Actually, I have unlimited minutes.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's move on then. Okay. So, item 11M. Many of you would have seen that the material that was placed in our restaurant car park for no apparent reason and took both First Service and the board by total surprise. We think we've now got to the bottom of this and the reasons for its delivery. Naturally, as previously announced, this delivery took the board by surprise, and although the intent of use of the material was worthy, the actual cost, hey, we are trying to make matters right in improving this expenditure. This has been a subject of debate amongst board members and First Service for a number of weeks. Although Cyprus Golf were involved in this situation, they were not responsible for the miscommunication that occurred. Steps of and not third-party assumptions. Tom may add and clarify appropriate account monies where this is going to be coming from. So, first of all, can I have a motion to approve the expenditure on general golf improvements?
$1,000 for discussion purposes.
Okay, can I have a second?
I'll second
I'll
that.
second.
Okay, now we can have the full-blown discussion.
What do I have a problem with this one? Okay.
We all do. Everybody on the board
You
does.
know,
I have a problem with it as well.
You know, when we've been talking for months about accountability. The board was absolutely not involved or information relayed incorrectly to Cyprus, but when I read their 1 point
And approved.
and we got nothing in writing. Somehow the accountability has fallen down significantly on this, and I'm not ready to say that we should approve 55 to 60,000 without more discussion with people involved, okay? And that includes First Service, absolutely. I mean, that includes Florida Service, that does the garbage pickup, that includes Cyprus, and it also includes First Service. And we keep paying, okay, the result of other people's lack of attention or focus or whatever. And, you know, I had a problem with the 3,300 and so forth, but for 50, I mean, obviously we all agree it shouldn't have happened, but it did. But it's not, is it really Summer Glen's fault that we just keep writing checks? I have a problem with that. I can't help it.
I still don't think we've actually reached the bottom of this and responsibility. We did do some internal research into. I was totally taken aback by this, and we actually went out on a course ride. I think this was probably after the event. Yeah, Kevin was there, and I was kind of expecting when we went on that course ride to be explained what the improvements were going to be on the golf course, what they'd done, and it'd come up at our meeting. I think it was a workshop meeting or a board meeting, and discussed this. But then stem paths and do this and do that. I've got a whole. I actually made notes as we went round. But then I stopped. I think we stopped on the 11th or 12th hole, and Russ and I stopped, and I said to Scott in Cyprus, I said, well, who approved this? And he said, well, I was told. So we said, well, no. I said, all this has to go through the board for approval. So several names were mentioned, and I'm not going to say anything at this meeting because we still really haven't found the whole people responsible. Well, we know one who no longer works for us probably gave the authority based on given the authority from someone else who shouldn't have given that authority. So it becomes a bit of a dog's dinner in explanation. So we ended up with a pile of dirt, wood, rebar, what's the other stuff? The fertilizer.
Coquino.
Coquino's there.
Command.
The command fertilizer. So we ended up all that outside there, and we thought, well, what the heck? And we were like just flustered, and then we said we then started doing research with Scott and on us. So he kind of pleaded the fifth, and so we really didn't get an honest answer from who was whose hands, but there were other people involved. So now we've reached this dilemma where all this stuff. So that's me being as transparent as I can be with the situation. I did mention this again at a previous board meeting, I think on August 14th, where I made a similar statement. I'm making actually more of a statement than I had before. So that's the dilemma we have. I agree. It wasn't in our concept to spend any. So our situation is this: we have some invoices, but not fully descriptive. That's it. That's all I want to say on it. So anyone else?
They're doing it. They're good people, Cyprus. They know how to take care of our golf course. But they also have a responsibility to dot their I's and cross their T's. Mm-hmm. And we sat in that meeting yesterday, and I asked about the $8,000, and I got deer in the headlights. Okay. And then I read this, and it says everything has to be in writing. I mean, we have to make people, and part of it's, we're not doing it, okay? We're not dotting our I's and crossing our T's enough. When I say that, I mean everybody, the community ends up paying for it. And that's bothering me, that every mistake that's made, that's...
How it came about, I still find there's a deep mystery in that. And I think other board members, if they would like to comment, if Russ or John would like to comment, or Steve, it became a big plot, a big mystery as to why this is even brought about.
Well, I'll comment that I think I have some of the pieces put together, but it's not, circumstantial evidence at best. Hit on a golf course that's already had a huge hit all winter. Number two, I think we heard very eloquent of its First Service's responsibility. It's not the board's necessarily their responsibility. First Service allows, maybe there's some negotiations that need to be done, and I'm willing to table this for further investigation, so to speak. I only made the motion to get this.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, we'd take a vote on.
I agree with Tom on the accountability and more clarity and transparency, and I also agree with John as far as tabling it for future or for further discussion and observation and investigation, if you would, because I mean, I think we all talked about it at one point in time about who should be responsible for this. And the main thing is I know that we saw a few emails and stuff and kind of laying some of the direction towards the board, which we had no clue about this until after the fact. The only one thing that I can say is that we table it, we have a further discussion and investigation, get to the bottom of it. But then also on top of that, I would say, basically we were kicked in the butt, lesson learned, it's not going to happen again. You know, that the accountability of all of our vendors, I don't care if they're insurance or maintenance or whoever they are, is to go, you know, we know that a lot of this goes through first service and then it comes to the board for a vote. If there is no check mark next to the board voted for it, then it ain't gonna happen. I mean, I really been no accountability, and why should we keep paying for something that we had no say in? That's my comment.
I have to agree with that. I believe that we have got to probably about 75% of the explanation of what happened, but I want to be 100% as to what happened. I want to know who did what, not for the purpose of putting their name out to the public, and what percentage of it would belong to First Services, if any. And I think it needs to be investigated. I think we need to make Cypress tell us who exactly did they think they were following directions from when they went forward with Cypress. They honestly thought they were following through on an approved item. But we do need to identify if it came about from a possible resident in Summer Glen.
Okay.
Yeah, and just real quick, if I may, you know, on that same note, I agree, Lynn, with everything. You know, we can all agree that Cypress does a good job. I believe that's my opinion. And we can all agree that the work that was completed for this 55 to 60,000 apparently was work that needed to be done, and it is for the betterment of the golf course, which is what we're all, I would hope, all of us, the board, Cypress, First Service, it was done, obviously needed to be done. Cypress is doing a good job. Now we just need to find out who to be accountable for, or who should be accountable for the 55 to 60,000 and come to some sort of agreement.
Can you repeat the motion?
For discussion, right?
Well,
And Russ seconded.
Okay,
But that's yes. So now if you want to table,
consensus is to deny. The second vote to deny, and then we'll do another vote to table it. Okay. So, all in favour to approve the expenditure? Say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All in favour not to approve the expenditure?
Would be no.
No. Okay. Okay. So the motion's denied to approve the expenditure. So now, would like someone to make another motion?
I'll make
perhaps
the
to
motion
table?
that we table the 60,000 of improvements performed by Cypress.
Can I have a second for that?
I will second that.
Okay. All in favour of that motion?
Aye.
Okay, so motions that will need further investigation, as I probably thought. Okay.
I think what's important, and the lesson we're learning, and this is for something, and we can operate fast. If something's an emergency, doesn't mean we drop everything and go crazy. We can approve things quickly by consent, okay, of board members, but we can't say, there's no reason we can't get quotes in writing. I mean, that's, and they need to be accountable for that. I know they do a good job, but I just, my gut tells me that they're weak on communicating this stuff because of their discussion with the $8,000 in this thing. Nothing was really done in writing ahead of time. You know, it's got to be something they have to do. And every one of our vendors that charges us extra for something. We need a, you know, just because it's a reserve item doesn't mean it's found money. We replenish the reserves every month, okay, by amount of almost $40,000 every month. So it's people's money that are going into reserves. So just because it's in reserves, no problem, spend it, okay? That's the board decision, and everybody has to understand that, including First Service, that anything that's a reserve item has to go through the board first.
I agree with you, Tom. Although there are times, as has been found this morning, But yes, there is accountability, and I do see situations not get the paperwork to follow is not as quickly as we really want it to happen. Just go back to the golf thing. I'm still like it's still a puzzle to me, and as Evelyn said, but yes, accountability is crucial. I mean.
My concern is here is we got a vendor that's got $55,000 to $60,000 worth of product going out. We're asking him to, with tabling this information, we're going to table it until next month. So he's going to carry that money another.
Well, if that's what it is, absolutely.
That's what we voted on.
Okay. I just want a clarification because you're putting, we know it was directed, and we know who directed it. So, and this board in the past said, John's in charge, everything has to go through John. So, I don't know what other information.
That John directed it.
You don't. If you don't know by now, you'll never know. You hire these people to do a job, they were directed from the person that they thought was supposed to be.
But they also, Dan had a responsibility. I'm not saying that communicate in writing. And going forward, that has to happen.
Okay.
And that's the bit that didn't take place. That's the
I think there needs to be a powwow at some point in time with responsible.
Yeah. We need
Cypress.
You haven't had any conversations with Cypress as far as yourself or?
I have had conversations with Cypress by email, asking him. Kevin also has had conversations with Cypress, and that's where it stood at the present. So
You say people.
we feel there's more than one person responsible.
Now, who don't you don't know?
I do
Take
know.
it offline.
Pardon me?
It needs to be taken offline, and Raymond.
Here accuse someone, and that person not be the right person. All of us have suspicions, but even your name was mentioned.
Pardon me?
Even your name was mentioned. So I'm not.
Well,
I'm not going to throw you under. I'm not going to throw you under the bus.
I got verification right here on my phone that from Cyprus I had nothing to do with it, but I kept this from Cyprus that Dan Murphy had nothing to do with this. I was on vacation.
No.
So
Dan,
that's
it was
right
not
from
you.
Scott from Cyprus.
I don't think anybody's blaming you, Dan.
Well, it certainly sounds like we're beating around the bush because they're trying to put something on me that I didn't do. And I want to make God darn sure that this is not going to happen in my watch. Because I am, my reputation's on the line, and that's exactly what you're trying to do.
Hang on.
Is trying to put somebody else involved when it was only, as far as I know, one person gave that permission to do it.
Okay. Well, Evelyn and Dan, we'll stop this. We've done the vote. We'll do more investigation, and as I say, at the moment it's tabled. Yes, it's unfortunate we're not going to give any money to Cyprus at the moment, but the court of inquiry as to how this was derived at.
Well, and there's more to the puzzle, how we're going to pay for it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so thanks. So, okay. It was all, item 11N, whether any emergency repairs were done or necessitated, and whether we have any invoices for that. So so can I have a motion then perhaps to table item 11N, because I don't know whether we have anything available.
It's a moot point at this point.
No.
Do we even need to table anything?
Well, we can strike it off and
Just strike it.
Strike it off.
what am I hearing?
So, Sandra spoke at the beginning of the meeting saying that there was lightning that hit over by her home, and she called to report, alerted us about that. But the information that she got back via email says that it would be addressed at a duly noted meeting, and she wants it addressed today. The assistant manager, not the manager, and I did not have anything to do with the golf at that time, so I do want to let you know that, and I'll reach out to them to correct that. Number two, I'm not sure why it wasn't addressed right away, to alert the manager and myself. If we have the ability to bring somebody out at that time, then we will do that. Just what we've addressed so far, and the irrigation is not working. As far as I know, there's like 15 something or others, you know, that need to be addressed. And so, you know, I've been labeled the big spender, and so I don't have any numbers at this time for you. So I'm trying to gather up some numbers. Kevin knows that Cypress is working on getting estimates that are reasonable to make those repairs for the lightning. Plus, we're getting that sent to the insurance as well. So all I can tell you right now is, as far as I know, it's still not working. That certain section is still not working. And there are some options that we may have to do that. And when we have an opportunity, and I think Russ has something to say about it.
Yeah, I'd like to add, I think they've manually turned that unit off in that area. Because it's being run manually at this point, so we do it. Yeah.
Okay, so manually, we're protecting the area by having water, but it still has to be fixed.
Correct.
Thank you.
Is we haven't resolved the final repairs as a result of that strike.
This is being very cautious in getting estimates for the repairs that need to be done, that will be presented to the board.
There was a concern from Roland about cavitation on the pump. And Roland, I only ran pumps, I didn't build them. But regardless, we talked to Patrick, the superintendent, his last name escapes me. About
Garland.
We did have a short meeting about irrigation, reasons he came to work here. And he said, and I'll probably paraphrase this wrong, the pumps automatically shut down when the water stops flowing. So yes, the pump ran all night, we know that. He started turning off the sprinkler heads that Sunday morning, I guess, manually. And then he said the pump would automatically shut down. It doesn't cause a hammer or cavitation. There's some kind of equipment on that pump that allows that. Now, you were a pump expert, so. But Patrick assured us that it shouldn't be a problem.
Actually.
Jeff might know more about the pump than I know.
Yeah.
So I share that information with you, Roland, just as you had a question.
The pumps were okay, they were protected.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I think the item at the moment is tabled, correct? Or struck
We stroked that.
Struck it off, okay.
Because we don't know the damage.
Okay.
At this point in time.
Okay. All right, let's move on then to item 11.0. I haven't seen an estimate for them as yet.
So the repair, I have not seen an estimate for a repair, but it has been estimates for replacement because, you know, it's a Band-Aid right now on this particular unit.
So that would be a good workshop topic probably in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I will bring it to you.
The two one was 2005, and thanks to Jeff at the back there for all that Excel file you sent. One was a 2005 unit, and one was a 2016 unit.
Jim, and that one's also a very old unit.
Okay.
And you know, 3 times in 1 year is a lot.
Well, and it would make sense then to change those things out in the winter just in case, because we don't want things to break in the summer and then have to wait 3 weeks to get an air conditioning person in here in our public buildings. That would be bad.
Well, I think United Air services a lot of that equipment, and they've replaced a lot of the equipment, and they're pretty good. They're here almost every other day. They handle a lot of equipment, so I would like to see a request or comment from them what they think about it.
Yeah.
Because they're very professional and they service a lot of equipment here.
That was their comment.
Yeah, the note
So-
the note I received was the older unit. If you have a refrigerant leak, then it would have to be changed out. So I think maybe we'll strike through this one for the moment because we haven't got any further information to approve an invoice. Maybe we could add it as a topic for a workshop coming
Okay.
up, looking at these things. Everyone happy with that?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Thanks, Stephen. Okay. Now we'll move to Tom's one.
Oh.
Item 11P, it is suggested that we renew a CD that is expiring at a value of $250,000 for 1 to 3 years at a rate of TBD. Renewal of CDs have become commonplace recently, and the HOA has gained interest. Albeit in the CD, we are not exposing liabilities in other areas of reserve expenditure. Tom to approve the investment, and then a second, and then we'll have a discussion.
Yeah, I make the motion that we obtain either a treasury bill or a preferred CD from 1 to... Yeah, the actual CD that was paid on, I guess, Wednesday or Thursday of last week was $235,000 plus interest. So we have sitting there earn at a much higher rate than we're getting in a regular bank. I think a regular bank account is 1.25% currently, and I won't know the exact rates until I talk to them this afternoon or tomorrow. But in looks market because rates are dropping.
Do we have enough money in cash to get through the rest of the year without
Oh, absolutely. We've got almost $500,000.
cash in any CDs or anything?
Yes.
We have enough money to get
Yes.
through. Thank you.
I would second the original motion since we're discussing it.
Okay, so you're the second.
I'll second so
Okay.
we can continue
Okay,
to
let's
discuss.
continue the discussion then. Okay. So my point is, the CD is expiring for $235,000, and we have $15,000 of interest. Are you saying that we don't need that money to be diverted? The
Oh,
$15,000?
not at all,
Not at
because
all.
we have money market, we have almost $500,000 earning interest at 3.5%. That's available whenever we need it. So we've got more than enough to cover us. And every year, more CDs come due. So and plus every month, we put $40,000.
Yeah, my only concern was what happened before was that when we did a CD, we approved a CD amount. That's why I'm glad you've got the know really. But
Yeah, this amount would be for $250 exactly.
Okay. Well, I'm personally I'm quite happy as long as we didn't need to divert the $15,000 of interest into something else. So, any further discussion?
Aye.
Okay. Then Tom, do your best rate.
All right, no problem.
Okay, good.
Don't get hit by the bus.
Okay. Last item on our agenda today is for the board to approve funding of our 2025 used the last time, and they did this study in 2022. They have quoted a figure of $8,600 to cover the amount quoted. The HOA board was very critical of the past advisor used, and steps have now been taken to ensure the HOA does not get the same person evaluating Summer Glen. So can I have a motion to approve a not to exceed figure of, say, $9,000? Okay, any discussion?
Yeah, the only thing If you look on the reserve study, the amount is a little over $11,000. What we really needed, I don't know, Marie, where Kevin is, but we've asked for a quote because we really need.
The quote
to-
is say that this 8,600 was the quote for the actual reserve part. I don't know if they've responded to him regarding the appraisal.
Yeah, it's important that we get all our insurance property coverage includes replacement value, and the only way they're comfortable with replacement value is when you have a current estimate of not the value today, but the replacement value, because the replacement value of this building or the RSO is much higher than what somebody might say it's worth, because it's all neutral as part of that study. And we have several $1,000s available in that 11,000 to cover that. And I don't think, I'd be surprised if it's more than that, but I don't know until we get a quote, you know.
Well, our current
Tom,
quote.
I can agree with you on that because I look at my house appraisal for my insurance rates from tax purposes. So I think an appraisal on for a rebuild is important.
I mean, did you want? I mean, we've said $9,000. Did you want to go up a bit?
To prove the
Contract.
appraisal value when we get a quote.
All right. Okay.
And we could do
that's
that by
separate. Okay, all right.
consent. We,
Right.
you know.
So we'll do one at a time. Okay.
Yeah.
So this one is 8,600. That
yeah.
is the correct amount. It's
Yes.
not
For
going to
the
go up.
contract,
For
right.
the contract.
For the current contract. Okay. All right. So any further discussion? If not, let's take a vote. All in favour, say aye.
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 Okay. Okay. So if we, Marie, if you can get in contact with the. Well, that ends all our business for this morning. It's taken a little bit longer than anticipated, but there's been a lot of discussion.
A couple of comments. Again, we're in a time where we really got to watch what we spend. Obviously, there's emergencies that come up and things we have to take care of, but we got to do it smartly. And we got to know what people over the years, the floor lawn and stuff like that, there's weed patches here in the common areas. I mean, we just have to do a better job in writing, making people accountable. It doesn't mean you're putting them on notice that you want to get rid of them. It's just, that's what you do. I mean, in the corporate world, if you're not doing a good, if you make a mistake, they write you up and say, hey, you got to correct this. But you get it in writing. We need to do that more. We do it very little here, and we got to do better at that. Thank you.
Russ, anything?
No, I'm good.
John?
No.
Stephen?
Stephen, anything?
No.
I agree with what Tom said. Other than that, I'm good.
Just to let you know, the next meetings will be a board workshop on Thursday, September the 25th, here at 9:30 in the Grand Hall. And our next full board meeting will be on Thursday, October the 9th, also again here in the Grand Hall. So can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make the motion that we adjourn.
Can I have a second, please?
Steve seconded.
Okay. All in favour, say aye.
Aye.